Hello, everyone. This is the Insert Title Show, and I'm your host, Wolf Strife. Yesterday, I was watching the Anthony Cumia show, and he played the Superman versus Batman trailer, and I just thought it was just looked stupid as hell. And he was kind of bitching about it the entire time, and I was kind of bitching about it the entire time watching it. It was just looked dumb. I mean. I didn't see the Man of Steel movie. I remember thinking the trailer looked okay, but I was just like, Superman, kind of boring. I love the Christopher Reeve ones, especially when I was a kid, but this one just looked kind of And I like the director a lot, Zack Snyder. He's the guy that did 300 and Watchmen, which is maybe my favorite superhero movie of all time. So he's a good director. It's just, I don't know, it's just something weird about these two movies, Man of Steel and Superman versus Batman. I guess my beef with the Superman versus Batman trailer is it just looks dumb. Doesn't look interesting whatsoever. I know there was a lot of shit going around when Ben Affleck was announced to be playing Batman. A lot of people bitching and stuff. I mean, I was kind of the opinion that let's just see how it goes. Because, I mean, Ben Affleck's an okay actor. I think the consensus is on him that he's a better director than actor. And I would agree with that. I mean, he directed The Town, and that was a fucking awesome movie. I don't think he directed Argo, but, yeah, he might have. But yeah, he's a good little filmmaker. But when I saw him as Batman and Bruce Wayne in the trailer, I was immediately like, no, I do not like this at all. I don't know what it was. It was just he doesn't look right for the role. And his acting style, I don't think, can properly convey such a complicated guy. I mean, my favorite Batman is Tim Burton's Batman 1989 with Michael Keaton. Now, Michael Keaton, I thought, did a great job because he was basically playing, especially Bruce Wayne, as a broken, kind of a crazy guy. Like, there's a couple of scenes where Bruce Wayne is just like, you're not entirely sure if he's sane, and I think that's the right way to do it. So I think that's kind of the right way to play the role, just because I mean, if you look at Bruce Wayne, this is Bruce Wayne. He's got some issues, understandably so, but he's got some issues. So I just don't know how Ben Affleck's gonna be able to do it. The physicality stuff, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if half the time Batman's CGI, so that doesn't really mean a whole lot. But I guess he did get in shape for the role and stuff. Again, I guess I'll just see how he does, but I don't know. Not really excited about him being Batman. And the whole look of Batman in this is just kind of, I don't know. I think they're just ripping off The Dark Knight Returns, but I'll talk about that later. The guy playing Superman, I think his name is Henry Cavill, something like that. He's a good actor. I like him. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was on The Tudors. He was in Count of Monte Cristo back in the day. I think that was his first movie. He's a good actor. My beef though with him is he doesn't entirely look like Superman to me. I don't know what it is. I think it's his hair, of all things. I don't know. And in the trailer, the scenes where he's portraying Clark Kent as this gave me douche chills. Because I'm like, really, people, we're gonna pretend like that's not Superman? I mean, look at the guy. He's a fucking hunk. Clark Kent's supposed to be a dweeb. No woman in her right mind would even look at this guy. The guy's got, his hair slicked back. He's got like some hipster glasses on. I mean, this guy would be banging half of Manhattan. But no, he's supposed to be, this nerd, quiet guy. Which is that scene in near the end of Kill Bill 2 where David Carradine is talking about basically how Superman and Clark Kent works. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in movie history, actually, where he's basically talking about Clark Kent as how Superman views mankind. He's quiet, he's kind of weak, he doesn't know what to do, he's a coward, you know. So that's kind of Superman's caricature of mankind. And that guy in the trailer does not look like that at all. So don't even get me started on Lawrence Fishburne playing that role as the head of the newspaper. I mean, I love Lawrence Fishburne, but we all know why he's in that movie. Let's not try to pretend. And then Lex Luthor just looks gay as hell in this movie. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Well, I mean, I knew when they hired the guy, I can't remember his name, Michael Cera. Well, I always get the guy mixed up with Michael Cera and whoever the hell the Lex Luthor guy is. Guy who was in that Facebook movie. Can't remember his name. Jesse Eisenberg? No, I don't know. Whatever, I don't care. He just looks, I mean, just, oh my god. It took me about half the trailer to realize that's Lex Luthor. I was like, is that the Riddler? I mean, what the fuck? I think it was the hair. I guess they're still doing that Lex Luthor likes wearing a wig joke, I guess is what that shit is, but it just looks horrible. But yeah, totally. Half the trailer I was thinking that was the Riddler. I mean, it did not dawn on me that this weak-looking piece of shit with the gay-ass hair is Lex Luthor. Multi-billionaire, big-ass strong guy, incredibly intelligent. I mean, he's basically a bad guy version of Bruce Wayne. And he just happens to be, Superman's arch nemesis. Other than, I guess, Brainiac or whatever. But, yeah, the trailer, man, just looked dumb. The chick playing the president was just like, ugh. I'm like, what is this stuff? She's got this long, weird hair and stuff. I'm like, what is this, Monterey, California? It just looked, just everything about it. Now, back to The Dark Knight Returns, which is the best graphic novel I've ever read in my life. I think a lot of people say that The Watchmen graphic novel's the best one ever, but I don't think anyone could argue against The Dark Knight Returns being the most influential graphic novel ever. I mean, if you look at every single Batman movie since that graphic novel came out, you will see bits and pieces of it. Well, basically, that's what inspired Tim Burton's kind of view and look in 1989's Batman. The story had nothing to do with it, but just the darkness, the seriousness, and all that definitely influenced it. And then you get to the Christopher Nolan movies. I mean, they are totally taken from The Dark Knight Returns. Especially Batman Begins was taken from Frank Miller's other Batman story, Batman Year One. So Frank Miller's definitely, his shadows has been over the Batman movies for going on 30 years now. And this one looks, I mean, even more so than all the other ones combined, maybe, to be taken from Dark Knight Returns. And that kind of bugs me because The Dark Knight Returns had a huge, huge build-up. I mean, it wasn't just one day Superman and Batman just decided to go fight each other. I mean, it was a long, huge process. And, I mean, it just took a lot of stuff to happen for this fight to happen. And then the movie, it just looks like, oh, let's just have these two fight. And I don't understand either. Like, what time period is this? Because they have Ben Affleck looking like a middle-aged Bruce Wayne. So I'm like, what's going on here? So I just don't know what's going on. And of course, Wonder Woman showing up out of nowhere is just like, what? What are they doing? It just seems like they're just throwing all these new iterations of these classic characters. They're just throwing them in here and seeing what happens. Which I think is the completely wrong thing to do. I mean, look at what Marvel did with their movies. I mean, it was brilliant what they did. They didn't just have Captain America show up in the Avengers out of nowhere. No, they did a movie about him to explain this stuff. They didn't just throw in Thor. No, they did a movie. Now we're just throwing in Batman, this iteration of Batman, and this iteration of Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman hasn't had, I don't think she's ever had a movie. It's a big fucking deal to have Wonder Woman in a movie, and we're just acting like, whatever. The chick playing Wonder Woman, I guess, is okay. She's a little small. I mean, Wonder Woman should be like this 6 foot, you know, black hair, white skin, giant boobs, just goddess, basically. And instead, this chick kind of looks like a Mexican supermodel, I guess. But she also looks like she's like 5'5", so it's just like, I don't know. But yeah. So I just don't know, and I'm sure it's just gonna be weird. And another thing too, another problem I had too was Batman's superpower armor thing. Looked kind of flimsy to me. I'm like, you do realize you're going into a fist fight up against Superman, right? I mean, it would be just as easy for Superman to destroy a M1 tank as it would be for him to scratch his balls. I mean, you're gonna need a very big suit, basically like the one they had in the graphic novel. So it's just, I don't know, the movie just looks stupid and dumb. But I mean, how many shitty trailers have we seen and the movie was actually okay? Probably a lot. And of course, it's always pissed me off when I've seen an amazing trailer and then the movie or the video game sucked. Like, I guess off the top of my head, like the trailer for Nacho Libre, that Jack Black movie was fucking hilarious, and then I go and see the movie, and the movie's just this weird thing. I don't even know how to describe the movie. There were some funny parts, but the trailer was definitely funnier than the movie. And then I guess like God of War Ascension probably has the best video game trailer of all time, but the game is just kind of like, it's a good game, but that trailer was freaking amazing. So I don't know. I'm definitely not going to see this movie in the theater, but I don't know. I'll probably eventually check it out. I still need to see Man of Steel, but whatever. I'm getting tired of all these stupid superhero movies. What I wish somebody would do is just do I wish like Frank Miller, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino would do like a 4-hour miniseries of The Dark Knight Returns on like HBO or whatever, and just let Frank Miller have it look the way he wants it to look, kind of like what they did with Sin City. That would be amazing. Maybe get Michael Keaton to be an old Batman again. That would be fucking amazing. And I think that way, if they did that, then everybody could just be like, all right, The Dark Knight Returns is done. Let's just actually come up with let's just come up with our own ideas and our own look for Batman movies from now on. I think it would be good to get over that hump and, get rid of the shadow of that graphic novel. And yeah, I think it would be good to do that. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have tried to do their own things, but I do have to admit though that a lot of the things that people do is quite inferior to Dark Knight Returns. Like at the end of that video game Batman Arkham City, the Joker dies at the end. Spoiler alert. And it was just dumb. I mean, it was really stupid how they did it, and I was like, man, this almost ruins the entire game for me, this ending. Because it wasn't the ending from Dark Knight Returns. I mean, The Dark Knight Returns has probably the two biggest moments in the entire DC universe. It has Batman's final battle against the Joker, and it has Superman versus Batman. I mean, those are the two biggest moments in DC Universe's history. So whenever I see somebody else do it and it's not as good, I get pretty pissed off. So I think they just need to do a 4 or 5 hour miniseries on HBO, make it like what Frank Miller would want it to be, and just do it and get over the hump. And then that way we can people can go on and do their own thing. But till then, I think we're just gonna keep seeing inferior versions of Dark Knight Returns. So whatever, I guess. If the movie turns out to be good, I'll be the first to say it that I was wrong. But I mean, I'm judging a trailer. Sue me.